All right, what is good, guys? We're joining right now. Let's see this here. So make sure that this works. All right, what is good, guys? We're joining. Sorry about that. I think we're good now. Yeah, we're just getting settled in. I'm gonna give everyone a few more minutes to join here, and I'm just gonna post on Instagram as well that we are going live. But yeah, good to see some of you guys in the chat here. What's going on, guys? What do we got here right now? We got Sunset, got Komodo. Man, I'm stoked to hear what you guys have been up to. Hope you guys all had a good Christmas, if that's your thing. If not, hope you guys had a good holiday or anything else going on. Things have been good over here. It's man, can't believe that this year is already pretty much over. It's crazy. I feel like things just like basically started and now it's like now the year is over, which is just crazy to me. And I'm just kind of thinking about all the stuff that I want to do in the new year. I'm excited for it, even though it's coming, quick. And yeah, I don't know. Things have been good. Been a good year. Just been working on a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm excited for the new year for sure. I'm gonna be getting started in just a minute here, guys. I'm just posting on Instagram that we are live. Yo, what's good, Jake? Yeah, I'm stoked to hear these ones. This is kind of cool because this is like I don't know, the last live stream of the year. I'm sure we're gonna be continuing this throughout the new year, but it's just kind of crazy that this is the last live stream that we're doing. But it's been awesome doing these this year. I mean, it's been so much fun. Hearing your guys' songs, getting to know you guys here on the channel. It's just been amazing. And, every time we do one of these live streams, I just look so much forward to it. It's always so fun to hear. And it's, one of my favorite things is just kind of how diverse, our community is here and how there's always like different, genres, different styles, stuff that I'm really stoked to hear. Okay, so let me just post this here on Instagram and then I'll get started here. Just gonna post this. Okay, now give me 1 sec, just make sure that posted. Then we'll get started. But basically, if anyone is joining for the first time, basically what these live streams are and what's kind of the agenda for this evening. For about the next hour, I'm gonna be reviewing songs that you guys have submitted. There have been songs like already kind of submitted, but I always like to bump anyone to the top of the list who is right here, just because I always think it's so much fun to react to songs, with you guys when you're in the chat, and kind of a reward for joining in the live streams here. I always like to bump you guys to the top of list. So I have a couple of submissions here already that I'm gonna be running through, but if anyone is watching the chat here and has some just submitted a song, let me know in the chat because I'll kind of move you to the top of the list so we can react to yours while you're here. That reaction link is in the description as well. It'll take you to a additional website where you can drop any link to your song, upload it, and we'll check it out. If anything sounds off audio wise, definitely let me know. But yeah, I'm stoked to definitely stoked to get started. I'm gonna pull up the first one here in 1 sec. Give me 1 sec here, guys. Also, I did want to show you guys this feature in the meantime because this is really cool, and I have a couple videos coming out on the channel about this. On the website, on Lullalie, we had this new update here to the voice changer. I actually saw this for the first time just a couple of like days ago, and it was really really cool to see. So basically, we've been working on this feature on the website for a while. This AI voice changer. You take vocals, upload them to the website. It takes your voice, makes it sound like Drake, Taylor Swift, Eminem, Kanye, etc. We've been working on this for a few months now, where we have these sort of quote unquote original unique artists that are unique to Lullali's website, and these are artists that you're not going to find anywhere elsewhere. So at the top, these voice packs here, these are really cool. I had a video on the channel, I think a short just the other day about it, but it was so cool to see just taking a vocal sample, putting it through the voice changer, and making something totally different. I always wish that I was a better singer, because I feel like I would use this like all the time to stack my vocals or make just some really wicked stuff. But yeah, if you guys haven't, check that out. It's so much fun to play around with. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let me load up the first one here. Let's see what we got here. And our website link is in the description as well too, if you guys want to check that out. But let me load up the first one here. So this first one here I'm going to be checking out. This one is from Komodo, who I saw in the chat here, who is definitely a great friend of the channel here. And I saw he submitted 2 songs. Hopefully we're going to be able to listen to both. But this is the first one that he got here. A very unconventional melody sounding song. So let's check this out. Okay, it's pretty sick. I'm feeling this. Yeah, this is pretty sick. I was in the second. Okay, so there are a few things that I really like about this one. I really like it as a whole. Honestly, this is a sick track. It reminds me of kind of like Yeezus style Kanye West, or even some like Childish Gambino type of stuff if you listen to that. I just feel like those 808s are really dope. I feel like the drums are sick. Like someone could easily, put vocals of this. Like it carries a beat for someone to rap or sing and lay some vocals over. And I like just the feel it kind of gives off. I think it's pretty interesting for sure. And I feel like somebody could make a really cool, memorable song with this track if the intention is to eventually have some vocals over top. And I do think that it's also mixed really, really well. I like the bass. I like the levels of everything that you have so far. And what's also cool about this, so this is something that I know I personally have struggles with sometime as a music producer, is kind of the minimal aspect of it, which I think that this track, is something that shouldn't go unnoticed. Especially in this part, and I can even, rewind if needed here, but sort of this B section, if you will, that is this, minimalistic style, right? No other instruments aside from the bass and a couple of percussive elements. And it's got the synths back here, but like, what I think is that, like, I know for me personally, it's almost harder to make a minimal sounding track than a completely, finished, or not even finished, sorry, but just like a completely stacked track with like 50 different layers. For me, it's always hard to make something minimal like this. Like, minimalism is kind of an art, and I feel like with this section, I'll back it up a bit, you nailed it with it. part here. I like this. Yeah, like someone could easily put vocals over this. This part here, okay, I don't know. I'm not a personal fan of this kind of like organ sound that comes in. I feel like it just like what sort of like I'm looking for. Like I love this. This part is like perfection to me. I feel like that kind of like, and if anyone, you know, has other thoughts in the comments, definitely debate me on this, but I feel like that kind of like arpeggiated organ sound, to me, it gives me sort of a different feeling than what I feel when I listen to the rest of the song. To me, yeah, I mean, it's definitely abstract. It kind of gives like a feeling of like, I don't know, kind of more energetic, kind of almost brighter sound when you have these other sounds that kind of contrast it, right? Like the minimal 808s that are heavy, the percussive elements that are you know, again, kind of minimal, and then you have the synth kind of, you know, rising up and down. To me, like those fit really, really well together. And then the organ that comes in kind of just gives it a different feeling a little bit. I just think it doesn't really need it. But I love the vocal samples too, the little like vocal cuts. That's like, to me, that's like classic like Kanye style. This is kind of better here, yeah. Like it still has like the kind of the tail end of the kind of arpeggiated pattern, but it kind of works better in this as it's not like the focal point. Yeah, overall, man, I like that. I like the I like the feeling of it, and I think sound selection is great. Mix is really, really great with that one. Like I think it's mixed really, really well. I think just, yeah, again, what stands out to me with that one is how you nailed like the minimalism aspect of it, that minimalist style. I think that, again, like I was saying, like that is like a art on its own, because that's something that I always struggle with. And yeah, hearing that is like, that is wicked, man. I love that. I'm sure we'll be able to get to the second one that you sent too, but I'm going to dive into this next one here. Just looking up how I can pull this up. Let me see how if I can pull this up here. The next one is from Sunset here. I'm just seeing how I can do this. Let me see if I can get this here. I'm just seeing if I can share this Google Drive link here. I know I can share it. I can definitely like download it and share it a different way. I might have to do that. Google Drive always gives me these like dumb issues here, but let me just get this up here. Okay, give me 1 second. We're gonna be listening to this one next from Sunset called Dusk, and I think if that's the one that you were talking about, how this was one that was submitted earlier, and then kind of some improvements with that. So let me just share this here. Okay, let me share. I want to do. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just seeing how to share my screen here for this next Okay, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just trying to bring over the audio file so we can get some sort of visual with it. Give me 1 sec to see. One more sec. Let's try one other thing. I know I can share it, but I just want to get like the kind of visual. Okay, here we go. This should work here. So yeah, this one is by Sunset. This track called Dusk, synth pop / rock vibes. Let's yeah, if this is one you sent a while ago, I'm sure I remember this one.
Driving through the city tonight,
yeah, okay,
hoping the street lights burn out so I can see the stars up in the sky. I ride on the highway in the midst of the night so I can set my thoughts aside. 'Cause right now I'm so fucked up, I don't know where to go and I don't know how to fly.
So good, man. Oh, that's really good.
Chilling by the ocean with the waves on fire, feeling like I can never get higher up in the sky.
So I remember this track because this one stood out to me so much that time you submitted it in the last live stream or the one before that. The mix is definitely improved, man. What I love like about the mix, it's like I love the guitars. Yeah, they're definitely like really clean. And the drums are really mixed well too. Like this is definitely a huge improvement. But what I love is like one thing that sticks out to me is just kind of the overall arrangement of stuff. I gotta go back because they have that one part where after a guitar solo, it transitions like so beautifully. Yeah, those drums are perfect volume. This part here. And then the Rhodes come in there. Like that is so sick. I'm obsessed with that part.
Chilling by the ocean with the waves on fire, feeling like I can never get higher. Up in the sky, look down from the clouds and watch the world pass me by. So unreal, my memories fading like the lights above, looking down on the ground upon my tired eyes. I will not lose myself, I will not die. The sunset stays around to light up the sky.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll have to back it up so we can keep this going. But I just wanted to say, like, with the vocals, like, I am not a vocalist or like lyricist like myself. So most of the times when I'm giving, like, you know, these you know, comments and advice with songs and reviewing them, a lot of it like definitely comes from the place of production and instrumental. Like, that's just because the stuff that, you know, I come from and I know. The lyrics in this song, I think, are really it fits the track, and I know you were mentioning it a bit. It's just like, it's this, like, what's the word, like, euphoric, spacious, like, heavenly kind of faded sound, and the lyrics go along with that, and the way that you're kind of like you know, performing them as well. I think it just, again, it all ties into like the overall feeling of the song, and then matching all aspects to that feeling. And I think that's like one thing that works really well in this song. Okay, is this a violin or a guitar? Because I heard some like bowing, like.
Light up the sky.
Yeah, is that a violin or a guitar? I love it. Whatever it is, it's so sick. Okay, it's a cello. I thought so. It's so sick though. I never would have thought to like put a cello in a track like this, and it works really well. Man, that is such a good track. Like, an awesome outro too. I think like the thing with this is just like, I want to hear more stuff from you, man. Like, I want to see like what you could do next, because you have this like really unique style, and it's just wicked, man. Like, it's such a good track, and I remember from like the last live stream, like the direction you were going with, and like that is it's definitely like a huge improvement, like from the last one with you know, the mix and everything. But like, it's just like, even like the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, this is such a unique track. And man, I just can't wait to hear more stuff from you, man. All right, I wanted this next one I'm gonna listen to. Let me just cue it up here. This one is from Jake. Ooh, I'm excited for that one. Who's a definitely good friend of the channel here, and we love listening to his stuff. I'm stoked for this one, man. I did just want to answer some question here too. I figure I can answer this one from Komodo. Was just saying, also just a question: if it isn't too personal, how much should a beat cost in your opinion? As in a standard payment for a beat longer than a minute. I would say like minimum $20 for a beat. There's a couple of like different aspects when it comes to like buying beats online, and maybe I'll even have to do like a whole video about this, but like when it comes to buying beats online, like definitely like there's a ton of information on like Google and YouTube, and You can even check out like BeatStars and Airbit and see what they do. But like, I would say like at minimum, like sell your beat for like $20, and with that, like make sure it's just basically like a basic license. Just like I guess a bit of context, like the way that I sell my beats, it's like I sell them as like leases, which basically allow multiple people to use the same beat. So many people can, buy the same beat, and then they can all use it individually, and then all their songs that they're making are existing in different places. And kind of the trade-off to having, someone buying a beat, for as low as $20 means that I still own the beat. I can, do whatever I want with it, sell it to, many different artists. And then, the person buying it gets some, basic usage rights, right? Like, put their song on maybe streaming platforms, social media, etc. And then if an artist wants like kind of more, more rights with the song, like maybe they want to keep all their earnings to themselves, or maybe they want to put it on radio or do it in a music video or some bigger projects, for example, then you can, have different options where, if an artist is kind of more advanced and if they're doing bigger things, maybe they have to spend a little bit more money, but then they also may get a little bit of, more rights and more, abilities to position their song out there. So I know it's kind of a long-winded answer, but I would say, just like if I had to summarize it, like when it comes to pricing your beats, I think like by minimum $20 at least for a basic license, and then have options kind of above that, which gives artists more, more rights. Just even, a bit of context too. Like, I have always, ever since I started selling my beats online, which was come up on 15 years ago, I always sold my beats for $30 at what I called a non-profit license. And it was allowing artists to put their stuff on social media. Then I had a different license option, which I've always done $150, which is basically like an unlimited license. So an artist buys that $150 license, they can put their song on Spotify, iTunes, etc., and they keep all their earnings. So there's basically no other costs. So it does kind of like vary, but yeah, I would say like definitely $20 is like the bare minimum. Did I hear about the Ren? I don't think I heard about this this BeatStars thing. Interesting. Ren v. What is that? Ren v. Kujo BeatStars? I didn't hear about it. I'm on some like Reddit thread right now. Interesting. Ren. I don't know. I'm just kind of skimming this over quickly, I guess. Okay, is this like an instance where like the producer used like an unclear sample or something like that? And then did they get in trouble? Kujo's saying there were no 30 third-party samples. And he has it. Kujo produced for BeatStars, sold exclusive. Okay. Okay, yeah. So that's what I kind of figured. Okay, so interesting point for sure. So yeah, I'm sure he would with a track like that. So I really want to make like a full like video about like beat selling, because it's, again, that's like my like main thing, obviously, and where I kind of built my following around. It's interesting though, but like the way that I kind of see it, and I see this a lot of times with producers too, and I think what it boils down to, and I definitely don't want to be like speak wrongly of producers at all. I think it's just like a lot of producers get thrown into the beat selling game and BeatStars and, working with artists when a lot of us, we didn't get into this to handle the business aspects of it. We just want to make music, right? So I've seen so many instances where producers have these, license options, and I would bet you if you ask them what it even means, like they might not even be able to explain what their licensing options mean. And it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely important to make sure like what what your license entails. But you have to be like upfront, with that, especially if you are using samples that you don't have all the necessary rights to. When I was getting started making music, I loved, playing around with samples and, studying people like Kanye, Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, all kind of the goats of sampling. And I loved playing around with samples. But ever since platforms like Spotify and, all these distributors like TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid, ever since it became like really easy for an artist to basically monetize their songs and collect streaming royalties, I was like, no, like hell no, I'm not doing any beats that have any, uncleared samples. And I've heard so many times like in the producer community that's like, everyone always says like, oh, it's the artist's responsibility to clear a sample, which I agree, because as a producer, I don't know all the logistics of where and how the song will be distributed. But if I'm not being upfront to the artist beforehand and say like, hey, you can use this beat, you can buy it, but there is a sample, then that would come back on me, right? So like with like BeatStars, I guess, I'm just kind of skimming through this, but I guess it's like the producer used a third party sample in the beat, probably just uploaded it to BeatStars, sold the exclusive or the unlimited license or whatever, and then the artist just thought they were good to go, and the song became top of the charts, and then it becomes an issue, right? And maybe everyone is pointing fingers here, but yeah, I think I've heard instances like that a handful of times, and again, I think it's just producers not fully understanding all the business aspects of it, right? And I mean, it is a thing like that could happen even with my own beats. It's like I have beats online, that I sell them for $150, unlimited license. Technically, an artist could buy, technically Drake or Justin Bieber or someone could go to my site, buy an $150 license, make their song, and then it could be top of the charts and they can make millions. And because the way I have my licensing options, I, wouldn't collect any of those additional royalties. The trade-off there is that I still own the beat, and somebody like Drake or Justin Bieber or whatever isn't going to go online and buy a $150 license, because they want to make sure everything is by the books and they want to make sure that no one else has access to it. So that's kind of the trade-off there. But yeah, I mean, especially like when you're using samples, it's just, it makes it so tricky. And I've heard, so many times like before where it's like an artist will, hear a beat on YouTube and they want to buy it. And then they, get to a producer's website and there's all these like complicated terms. They just want something easy. They just want to buy it. I don't think that's never on like the artist, unless it's like clearly like stated. But I mean, if this producer just used the sample, put it on BeatStars, didn't clarify anything that it did have to do a license or did have to use a sample, then it gets tricky, right? That's the reason why I stay away from samples. Like I love, and I miss like making sampled music. Right above my desk here, I have my Native Instruments Machine MK2, like an MPC controller. I used to use it all the time to chop up samples, and now I don't, because I want to avoid stuff like this, and I want to make it easy for the artists. So it just kind of sits there as like a memento. But yeah, I'll have to pay some I'll kind of have to look that out. But I'm assuming that's, I guess, what happened here. Kind of interesting though, especially if the track became number one on the charts. That's crazy. But yeah, everyone's debating it here. I mean, like the way that I have kind of positioned my business, selling beats online, I just plan on, like, I always just want to make it as easy as possible for any artist to use my stuff. So it's like, I don't want to use any third party samples. I don't want the artist to go through, have to, I don't want the artist to have to go through all these hurdles to, use their song. And I don't want to have them, to make their song and then clear a sample, or worry about using an uncleared sample. The way that I've positioned like my beat selling business through BeatStars, it's like, it's royalty free. You buy your license, you're good for that, right? And if you want like if you want more rights, then we have to work out a specific situation. But for the most part, I just keep everything very, very simple, and that includes not using samples. The best part about was that the song was about greed in the music industry. Um, yeah, I mean, I've heard like all these other, like, there's so many like loop makers online too, where like, you know, I've seen like people put up like loops and sounds and samples, and they say like, oh, this is royalty free, except if it's a major placement. And then it's like, I always think like, if I'm a producer, and I am using a loop that isn't fully cleared, and an artist uses it, and then maybe they have to clear it later on or add someone else for royalties. It just like, it complicates everything. And to me, just all those hurdles and obstacles isn't something I want to deal with. And I just want to make it easy for the buyer, anyone buying my music, to use. Kind of interesting though. I'll have to kind of look into that a little bit more. It's really interesting. But let's get back into these song reviews here. This one here is from Jake. I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation here. Single at Mobile 22. I don't know. Let's check it. Okay. Wow. Oh, nice. Okay, this is a really interesting one. Now the beginning was really, really interesting to hear. I could tell all of the, like, I don't know if every program calls it automation clips, right? Kind of making swells for different effects, and kind of rising effects. I could hear like all of that, effects and layering in the beginning. And it's like really interesting, like, concept. I really liked it. I think like this part, I love this part too. For some like reason, like, to me the drums feel a little flat. And that's kind of like my only gripe with it now. But I like the bass. I love the concept. I think like the drums, yeah, just maybe need some work. Maybe some more punch to them. Maybe a different kick or sub kick, or maybe some kind of reverb type thing with the snare. Like all the instruments I love. I love like the bass and the growls and everything. I think like the drums just are a little lackluster kind of in comparison to those. The brass in the background. It's cool. I love this. This is awesome. I love this. Yeah, this is sick. Yeah, I love the concept of it, man. I definitely feel you. Like, I think the kind of drop, like, if it just placeholder sounds, like, I know you can beef that up. The kind of like the cinematic part here is really sick, though. That is so sick. Like everything in that part is just like so beautiful. I love that. I'm gonna try to at least get through 2 more here. I got this one here from Prod by Maxlow, if I got that right. And then I want to do the one from Love Has Limits too, and then possibly some other ones. But I'm gonna dive into this next one here. This is I guess happy type beat, which is something I've been doing a lot of. But yeah, let's check this out. Oh, I like this. It's a little quiet. I don't know if you guys can hear that okay. Few thoughts. I'll keep it running for a bit. My main one is I think it sounds like a little quiet. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it should, the overall mix should just be like a little bit more in your face. Great drums though. Great drums. Nice. Good vocal samples in this bridge. You know what? I really love the structure that you have with this. I think it's just like listening to verse from like chorus, like it's a, I don't mean this in any like, you know, wrong way at all, but like relatively like a simple, you know, beat, not too many, you know, counter melodies or, you know, aggressive change ups or anything like that. But you can still kind of clearly hear the differences between verse and bridge and chorus, even without like the timestamps, which I think is really, really like well done. It's another instance, like I was talking about with one of the earlier tracks, where like, not that this track is as minimal, but like even a track where you don't have all this like, you know, all this stuff happening and all this stuff in your face, you still have done like a really good job like layering all the sounds where like an artist can clearly hear the different sections, which I think is really well, like that's awesome. And then a little bit more in the second part of the chorus. That's awesome. Yeah, I like this. This is a good track. This is a good beat for sure. Okay, I think like the only thing like I would say is like between the second verse and the third chorus, you don't have a bridge like you did sort of in before the first chorus and the second chorus. I would say like I think like adding bridges to your beats is like really, really good idea, and kind of like what I've learned with, you know, working kind of one-on-one with artists, that a lot of people really like them. I would just say like make sure that like if you're doing that, like kind of make it consistent. I just feel like if an artist is like writing to, you know, the first verse, they probably like already have that idea in their head of how it should be for the second verse. I would say just like kind of increase the volume. Yeah, a little bit more. Just when I think of like, I don't know, it might just be me. I think this is the first YouTube. Well, this one we had here. This one felt a little bit louder than I heard earlier in the live stream. And then this one, like the overall, like, I guess maybe video volume might be a little bit low. I would just say like, you know, whenever I'm making my beat videos for YouTube, like I always try and make sure that like it's at like 0 decibels, like kind of the loudest I can get it without clipping, just because I want it like when someone clicks on it, I want them to hear it very clearly. So I would say, yeah, like increase either the volume of the beat or even just like the video when you're exporting it, just to make sure it's kind of at that 0 decibel. It's pretty repetitive. Would that be something negative? I don't think in this instance like this is a bad thing. I think the kind of simplicity and repetitive notion with this beat, I think it works. I think you've done enough stuff in it that I actually wouldn't really call this one repetitive. I think that like adding those additional layers into the chorus breaks it up from the verse, and you can again kind of clearly hear the different sections. I would say like if it was just basically the same thing from start to finish, then I would say like, yeah, that's a repetitive one. But I think that like an artist can clearly hear the different sections that you have with this. Yeah, I wouldn't say this is like really repetitive at all. Like even if it's the same chords or notes or melodies, adding the different layers and taking away drums and adding them back in certain sections kind of avoids that issue. I think it's a solid track for sure. I really like that one. All right, I want to get through. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do this one from Love Has Limits, and then I will end the live stream with this last one we had from Komodo. But yeah, let's jump into this one. So this is Love Has Limits, who another really good friend of the channel. I think, did we hear some stuff from you with Alyssa Jane before? I'm trying to remember if that was a singer that you had worked with before. But I guess this is a track here called Red Flags. I forget if you mentioned something about it. Here, let me pin this one for you here. But yeah, Love Has Limits. Let's check out this one. Okay, here we go.
All my friends are out again with the lovers, and here I am inside thinking I'ma find another. I know I'm not over you, but I think things have gotta change. So I open up my phone to a new boy, I'm talking late. Kinda looks like you, doesn't he? My fault, my bad. I was hoping maybe we had chemistry. Kinda talks like you, but honestly, it's not that bad. He's not that bad. Step back, about to blow up in my face. Watch out, I'm always on a mission for heartbreak. Came down from the high that I was sitting on with you, and I'm the lowest step and something for all the tricks to use. What is wrong with me? Please let me be.
Okay, so I know you're the producer of of these tracks, and I do want to talk about the production. But one thing that I always love with hearing your work with Alyssa, man, she's such a good performer with the way that she, records her vocals and presents them. She does these kind of different vocal techniques and stuff to kind of break up her voice and make it creative. Like it sounds really, really good. I love that. The production I think is really good too. I love this kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like epic, like almost war sounding like drums, right? It's got this like good groove, just kind of gets me pumped up a little bit, right? I like this. It's like a headbanging track, right?
I swear guys like this just take control of me. I was walking home and this boy pulled up, said, do you need a ride? Of course I'm thinking he could kill me if I only got inside. But that's the kind of boy I dream about, the ones that wrong my rights.
It's like these like vocals that she does, like, man, I'm hooked on this.
The ones that pick the fights, I'm holding on for dear life. He kinda looks like you, doesn't he? My fault, my bad. I was hoping maybe we had chemistry. And when it all comes loose, you can blame me. It's not that bad. He's not that bad. Step back, about to blow up in my face. Watch out, I'm always on a mission for heartbreak. Came down from the high that I was sitting on with you, and I'm the lowest step and something for all the tricks to use. What is wrong with me? Please let me be. I
Okay.
swear guys like this just take control of me.
That's kind of sick. Oh man, that is like, dude, I don't even know like how you go about like producing one of those tracks. Like there's so many small like details that you have throughout it, and the differences between the sections are like, I can tell like everything is thought of so carefully that I feel like in this one, like even like the parts where like the sound
When it all comes loose, you can blame me. It's not that bad. He's not that bad. Step back.
and the bass comes in and then the other drums come in. It's like, man, like you have a good ear for like these kind of like rock songs, because everything is placed really, really well. And again, it's all these really kind of like small, tiny details that make this track what it is. All those small things piled together, and make this the amazing composition that it is. But man, I always love hearing your stuff. I think I asked you before, your stuff is on Spotify, right? I gotta go back and listen to some that we had listened to a while back, because I'm always impressed, and like every time I hear that stuff, I'm just like, damn, this is like this is wicked. I love it, man. All right, this is the last one here for the night, guys. This one is another one from Komodo that we started the live stream with. I forget what he had mentioned about this one. I don't want to open in the chat and see, but yeah, another one from Komodo, another pop type thing. Let's give this a listen here. Okay, I like this. I like the drums in this. It's kind of cool getting that kind of dusty hip hop drums almost with the synthetic sound. And again, I hear the little vocal samples. It reminds me of, Kanye production a little bit. Or like Childish Gambino type of thing. Sick. I think it might need some kind of more bass to it. The previous track that you had in the live stream had like a ton of bass. I think it'd be kind of interesting, and maybe it'll come up later in the song, but like this with some of those like 808s could really just like make the song even, have some more energy into it. The counter melody was sick. I think with this, I love all the layers and stuff, and it does help keep the beat progressing and avoid it from something a little too repetitive. I do think though that just because it's such a simple melody, that main synth kind of pluck pattern that you have, I think just because it's so short, I could see an argument there of repetitiveness with this. But yeah, like I was saying, like the other layers do kind of argue that point that it's not repetitive. But I think that, I don't know, it would be interesting to hear like if that melody was either a little bit longer, or maybe you took it out in certain places or switched it to a different instrument, just something to break it up a little bit. Just because it's the focal point, right? I love all the layers in it. Okay, here's a little switch up here. now. That's sick. I like that. That's a little the sound bit too. Yeah, it's a sick track. Yeah, I don't know. I think like I've done tracks before, like some beats before, where I have like a little bit of a switch up at the end. I don't think it's always a bad thing because I think it's this kind of like little Easter egg at the end. You know, if somebody sticks around, they hear something different, and then it kind of promotes that, you know, replay factor, where someone again, you know, will want to listen to the entire track just to hear it again. But I think it's a cool vibe. Like I love the idea from it. I think just that main melody, a little bit too repetitive, but all the other layers, I think, you know, help it, you know, still keep the track like progressing. But awesome track. I got into the live stream here, guys. But guys, thank you so much for joining the live stream, hanging out with us. Man, I always love doing these. You know, like I was saying, this was our last one for the year 2024. I'm sure we'll be back doing these again shortly in the new year, but make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have notifications on if you haven't, because we will be doing, you know, more live streams. Like I said, just figuring out the schedule, but I'm sure we'll do it soon. And if you guys haven't, before I end the live stream, I want to mention, if you guys missed this on the channel, I recently had almost an hour-long conversation with a really great music producer. His name is Matthew May. He's on YouTube in the Type Beats game. I know we had some chats in this live stream about you know, selling beats online, and we had a really good conversation about, you know, getting started selling beats online. What him and I kind of think the new year holds for music producers, and also just some really interesting points on AI and music production. He had some really interesting kind of points. So if you guys missed that, it's gonna be on the channel. We uploaded it last week. Check it out. Got some new stuff coming soon. But thank you guys so much. And again, hope you guys had great holidays. Hope you guys have a happy, safe new year. And stoked to hear what you guys come up with in 2020.